There are so many fabulously crazy buildings and so little time to share them all with you. So we'll do our best to take you through some of the wildest, creative, and inspiring buildings ever built in today's video. Here are 25 craziest buildings ever constructed.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm American Eye, and I'm going to be your guest host right here on Titanic. Enjoy the video.
Number 25. I want to dance with somebody. Whitney Houston could easily have been referring to the dancing house in Prague, which was designed by the Croatian-Czech architect Vlado Mulinik, and also the Canadian-American architect Frank Gehry. Thanks to 99 concrete panels, each with a shape and dimension, the house looks like it's even dancing. It's a wonderful draw card for tourists and was even featured on a gold 2000 Czech koruna coin. Number 24. A real basket case. The Longaberger headquarters in Ohio, USA is literally shaped like a basket, and that's because Longaberger have been making baskets and other items for over 100 years. They're the largest manufacturer of handcrafted maple baskets in America, and this building suited them perfectly, as this particular basket was one of their best-selling. Number 23. Something to trump about. It must be awesome to explain to people where you live if you live here. Simply said, it's the Elephant Building, and people will know exactly where to go. It's a 335-foot structure comprising of housing, shops, offices, and apartments. The building came in at number 4 of the 20 world's iconic skyscrapers voted by CNN Go in 2011. Number 22. Garden of Eden. Welcome to an unusual project in Cornwall, England known as the Eden Project. Here you'll find biomes, which is, according to Wiki, naturally occurring community of flora and fauna occupying a major habitat. Climate for the flora and fauna are controlled inside the domes, which are held up by steel framing and inflated hexagonal and pentagonal plastic cells. You can pay this unusual setup a visit if you happen to be in the area. Number 21. Get your bling on. This insane building was conceived by Henning Larsen Architects, and it has brought back an energy that was severely lacking in Reykjavik's harbor. The building attracts locals and tourists and features a kaleidoscope of multicolored glass. The crystalline shell is thanks to artist Olafur Eliasson, and when the sun sets, the building comes alive with LED strips, making everything shine and glimmer. It's pretty much unlike any harbor you've ever seen. The building is called Harpa and is home to concert halls and conference centers. Number 20. Spiral out of control. This is Waldspiral, located in Darmstadt, Germany, and the name translates to forest spiral. It's a residential complex, and you notice that it's missing straight lines. That's because the artist and architect that designed the building, Friedenreich Hundenwasser, was said to despise straight lines and called them the devil's tools. Built in the 1990s, this building has just as many trees as it does humans. There are 105 apartments, and unfortunately, it does not allow access to any random visitor. You have to know somebody to let you in. White Elephant. If the Olympic Games have been hosted in your country, you probably have a stadium somewhere nearby that costs billions of dollars to erect. This unusual stadium is Montreal's Olympic Stadium, which was erected in 1976. There have been so many attempts to revive this stadium, from monster truck rallies to sporting events, and even the occasional concert. Not too long ago, it was used to house asylum seekers, but it'll more than likely never return to its former glory. Number 18. Gloomy Marvelous. A familiar building is the Lotus Temple, or Baha'i House of Worship in New Delhi. There are 27 structures that make up this temple, all resembling a lotus flower just about to open. 2,500 people can be inside at any given time since its completion in 1986. Over 100 million people have visited this beautiful temple. Number 17. Take your pick. You're spoiled for choice if you're keen to head to this insane building, as there are 5 to choose from all across the US, with the 6th on the way. It's Wonderworks, an entertainment center with its main focus on science. Their slogan is, "Let your imagination run wild," and there's enough inside to keep the kids and the adults entertained for hours. The story says that Wonderworks used to be a top-secret research laboratory on a remote island in the Bermuda Triangle until it was ripped away by something unknown to us and plonked upside down in the US. So take your pick and visit at least one of them. Number 16. Back to square one. These cube houses are found in Rotterdam and Helmond in the Netherlands and were the creation of Piet Blom, who followed the concept of living as an urban roof. What this entailed was high-density living with enough space below in order to optimize the available space. The cube is tilted 45 degrees and rests on a hexagon-shaped pylon. The individual house represents a tree, and all the houses together a forest. Number 15. Business as usual. Going to the office won't be too difficult if you work at Nord LB office in Hanover, Germany. The offices occupy an entire city block, and it looks like hamster tunnels are connecting the entire building together. I wonder how people find their way around inside here. The office block houses a bank, shops, restaurants, cafes, public art, and more. And you can soak it all in while enjoying time in the central courtyard. Number 14. Back to the basics. This is a nature park that spans across 101 hectares of reclaimed land. Called Gardens by the Bay, this park is located in the central region of Singapore. There are 3 waterfront gardens in the park, and the building of this intriguing-looking destination is thanks to Wilkinson Ear Architects and Grant Associates. The park has received more than 20 million visitors since it opened its doors and won an award for the design of the park. There you will find the Flower Dome, Cloud Forest, Super Tree Grove, Children's Garden, and horticultural themed gardens. Number 13. Out of Shape. This is a firm favorite in Sopot, Poland called the Crooked House. It forms as a part of the Resident Shopping Center now and was built and designed in 2004. It's easy to see that the designers were inspired by fairy tales and it's become the highlight of Sopot. Number 12. Guests welcome. Just not sure how they're going to enter. This bizarre piece is a creation of Irvin Verm and is called The House Attack. Don't worry, the house was empty before it was built into the side of Museum Moderner Kunst in Vienna. So before you enter the museum, you are faced with your very first piece of modern art. Number 11. Going Up. This is the second tallest freestanding building in the UK and is covered in 11,000 glass panels. To put that into perspective, it's 8 Wembley football pitches covered in glass panels. It's the Shard located in London, and it boasts 95 stories in total. It took a total of 3 years to complete this building and was designed by Renzo Piano. The Shard has something for everyone: offices, restaurants, and hotel rooms with unrivaled views. Definitely worth a visit if you're spending a bit of time in London. Number 10. Back to the Future. This futuristic building is the Niterói Contemporary Art Museum in Rio de Janeiro and is certainly an architectural landmark. Completed in 1996, this museum was designed by Oscar Niemeyer and has a perfect backdrop, the beach. The building looks like a UFO and has been featured a couple of times on the TV show Amazing Race. Number 9. Caught between a rock and a hard place. No better way to describe this abode situated in France. It's known as Castle Mur, and it's not really a castle, but like a cottage squashed between rocks. It's been there since 1861, where it was possible to build houses just about anywhere. The house is still owned by the original family that built it all those years ago, and has been occupied since 2004. Number 8. A Good Egg. This is the National Grand Theater in Beijing, and many refer to it as a giant blue egg. No explanations needed. The building was completed in 2007 and designed by Paul Andrew, who won an international competition in 1999 to construct the new building. Number 7. Staying Connected. This is the linked hybrid design by Stephen Hull Architects and is a building complex located in Beijing. The building has received many accolades for its environmental design and sustainable aspects. For example, the house boasts geothermal wells for cooling and heating. The building took 6 years to complete and is home to 2,500 people. There are 700 apartments, loads of parking, a hotel, retail space, a cinema, a kindergarten, and a Montessori school. Number 6. Back in Time. The Bibliotheca Alexandrina in Alexandria, Egypt is something extra special. This library resembles an angled discus, or a giant sundial, and it pays tribute to the ancient library of Alexandria that burnt down in the 3rd century BC. The library once held the largest collection of manuscripts in the world and is said to have been destroyed purely accidental, done by Caesar's conquest of 48 BC. Number 5. Once Upon a Time. The story of the Ideal Palace in France is very much like a fairy tale. Ferdinand Cheval was a French postman who started building his dream palace in the late 19th century. The rock had a shape that fascinated him, and so he began his 34-year project of creating this beautiful palace, much to the amusement of his neighbors and peers. Number 3. Puzzle It Out. This fun tourist attraction is located near Wanaka, New Zealand, and it's been around since 1973, where it started as a single-story maze. Stuart Lansborough's puzzling world is full of optical illusions, puzzling rooms, and the most incredible, world-first 3D maze. Around 250,000 people visit this spot each year. Number 2. Breaking the Mold. Architect Tom Main is well known for doing this, and it's thanks to him that Southern California Institute of Architecture was formed in 1972. He has designed buildings all around the world, including the Perot Museum of Nature and Science in Dallas, completed in 2012. It's a great place to visit with the kids, with many interactive permanent and temporary displays to offer. Number 1. Piece of Meat. This is China's new Ecology Center, and this crazy crab replica comes 3 years after China's president declared no more weird buildings. So clearly someone didn't get the memo. It's 3 stories high and can withstand the worst weather you can imagine. It's open for visitors, so pinch a bit of time off work and go explore some of these intriguing buildings.
Wow, now that was a great video. You know where else to find some great videos? Right here on my channel, American Eye. I'll see you there.